aṣíwájú. Ògbólógbò, ògbólógbò, aṣíwájú. Ògbólógbò, ògbólógbò, aṣíwájú. Olórí olóòótọ́, olórí dúníyè, olórí dúnímọ̀, olórí aláàánú. Aṣíwájú ìyẹ̀dù, àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀ dààmú. Aṣíwájú dúníṣẹ́, ọlọ́tẹ̀ níṣẹ́ dúníyè. Ìwé àwọn ọlọ́tẹ̀, ìwé àwọn aṣèbàjẹ́, ìwé àwọn ẹlẹ́jẹ̀, ìwé àwọn alábòsí. Olórí ìhìnrere, olórí tí ń ṣe rere, olórí tó fi wá péré. Aṣíwájú tó dé wá péré, jagaba tó dé wá péré, Yarabawa Hausawa, na ce Asuwaju tutai.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, before I say why I'm in Katsina, I think it is important for me to mention my name for general public to know and to hear. My name is Dr. Badamasi Lawal, an associate professor in health education and the national coordinator and chief executive in NSIPA.
Okay. You are in Katsina, and we met at a program where the agency disbursed some support and assistance to a greater percentage of people in Katsina. What happened there? What does it mean?
Thank you so much. Like I said earlier, the national coordinator in NSIPA, it is important at this point to tell the public what is NSIPA and what are the clusters in NSIPA. NSIPA has about 6 clusters, meaning 6 departments, manned by national program managers. And these 6 departments are the National Cash Transfer Office, that is the activity that brought us here, NASCO, the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office, this is also another cluster. And then we have the NPower as a cluster. We have GIP, Government Enterprise Empowerment Program, as a cluster. We have GBG, Grant for the Vulnerable Group, as a cluster. And then we have a popular program that everybody knows, that is National Homegrown School Feeding Program. These are the 6 programs of NSIPA. We are here today in Katsina as related to cash transfer or direct cash transfer to beneficiaries under this agency. When this administration came on board, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has about 8 renewed hope agenda. In one of these agenda, it was very specific that it focuses on health, education, social protection as essential pillars of development. When you take this as an agenda, our activities are in that agenda, that is social protection. There are so many ways of social protection to say these clusters are tailored towards achieving this social protection. One of the social protection measures by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration is the cash transfer, meaning beneficiaries were sourced based on multidimensional poverty index and population in various states in Nigeria. That came about, was about 15 million households. And it is assumed every household has about 4 to 5 persons in that household. So we have about 15 million households in Nigeria that have been captured into the National Social Register. And the National Social Register is being domiciled in one of the program department, that is NASCO. But the conditional cash transfer again, or the cash transfer office, is the one disbursing funds to various beneficiaries in Nigeria. So while we are here in Katsina, I just begin with a background. Yeah. We are in Katsina here today because of the conditional or cash transfer that will be disbursed to about 26,676 beneficiaries. So you can now see the large number of people benefiting from this conditional cash transfer. So, meaning here, the conditional cash transfer is of 3 tranches. First tranche, the beneficiary will get 25,000 naira. Second tranche, he will get another 25,000 naira. Third tranche, he will get another 25, not 23, 25,000 naira, totaling to 75,000 naira altogether in first, second, and third tranche of disbursement. But in Katsina, in particular, from inception of this conditional or direct benefit transfer, the total number of 557,143 beneficiaries have been manned from the National Social Register to benefit the 75,000 naira. The first instance of this is that this figure I mentioned, 457,149, has so far collected 25,000 naira each. So if you want to know the value of the money, just multiply that number by 25,000 naira. In Katsina alone, totaling to about 11.4 billion. For those of you care to know, this is a huge money. In Katsina alone, the past disbursement is about 11.4 billion. Then out of this figure again, including of what we are doing today, 244,628 have collected second tranche payment. 244,628 multiplied by another 25,000, meaning about 6.08 billion has already been again disbursed as conditional cash transfer to people indigenous of Katsina State. So 11.4 billion plus 6 again 0.08, total them together is about 17 billion within this administration of Baba Tinubu, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, first tranche payment, second tranche payment. Out of this figure, there are those that already collected the third tranche, totaling to about 999,313. This one have already finished their collection. So from that figure of 457, out of them, 244 have collected second payment, and out of this 244, 199,312 had already collected third tranche payment, totaling to about 4.5 billion. So in Katsina alone, within this period of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, the sum of 22,485,000 has so far been collected as direct benefit transfer to people in Katsina State, to persons in Katsina State. So you can now see, we have been saying this time upon times, but people don't appreciate what is being said. And this data is in the state government. Anybody who wishes to know can go and meet the state coordinator of NSIPA and find out the numbers are there, the telephone numbers are there, they have their BBN, they have other variables or profile that these people can be trusted. This is not a hidden issue. It is well known for anybody who not to care. You can go and verify the numbers are there. And the activity of today, you see, you can now see the people who turn out. 26,676.
Okay.
That are what? Willing to what? Ready to what? To get their cards and get additional 25,000. Already 199,313 had already collected third tranche. And once you collect the third tranche payment, we are through, you are through the system, and the system is through with you. Because NSIPA is established to provide assistance or support to the poor and vulnerable population across Nigeria. So in Katsina alone, look at the huge sum of money. When we come to talk Nigeria, I give you the summary. You can now see the number of beneficiaries, first, payment, second payment, third payment, totaling about 344 billion naira. But yet people are not talking. We said this in so many media houses, but yet people continue to criticize, and because they refuse to go, and if they want to cross-check, they can go and cross-check in their various offices, state offices, or they can come to NSIPA. We oblige them with this data so they can be able to see. So that is what brought us to Katsina, to support Malam Duka Umar stewardship or administration, because he has done so far in the area of social protection. I, for one, I knew, because I was part of it. Even when I left, I knew a number of cash transfer had been given to people severally. So we must now say what the federal government is doing to Katsina State, and when we have time like this, we must appreciate what Malam Duka Umar is doing, because he is aligning with the agenda of Mr. President in social protection. For instance, now I know financial disbursement to people are over 38,000 in Katsina State, monthly. I will come back to that. For instance, we have 6,652 ward heads. Each ward head today, every month collect 10,000 there. From Malam Duka administration, 6,652. We have 2,225 imams that monthly collect about 20 to 30,000. And we have the same figure, Naibin Imam, 2,225. And we have the same figure, Muslim Ladan, collecting some money from the same post of Katsina State government. So when we have opportunity, we say. So if you total them, all together, you see they are about 6,600 and some figures. And we have what we call security support group. There are about 12,879. Each month they collect 10,000. So you can now see the cash transfer of the federal government we are doing. His Excellency here has modified his own in addition to what he has been doing. Look at how hugely he is giving what? Support monthly to who? To people. When the federal government did NPower, we came to Katsina and Borrowlip and we did what? What we call S-Power. About 9,000 of them were recruited and were given 20,000 each, and they are posted in various primary and secondary schools. And when Malam Duka Umar assumed as a governor of Katsina State, who was our own advice as expert in education, we said, sir, if we really wanted to recruit teachers, please interview these people. And they were interviewed. 7,325 were recruited. It's first ever in the history of Nigeria. Now, there was no governor in Nigeria, whether military or civilian, who at one time recruited 7,000 teachers. We should be in the record books, Guinness record book. So health workers were recruited. On security, about 2,885 or 89 have so far been recruited to help with security. So you can now see, in addition to this, we've gone ahead to what? To recruit, to provide job to indigents of the state. Look at scholarship. Look at the foreign scholarship. I was asking the chairman scholarship local that for now, how far have you disbursed? He said about 2 billion. To who? To about 140 students in various institutions in Nigeria. So these are social protections. Job creation and then giving assistance. We are talking of Katsina. Let us look at Nigeria as a whole. 15 million households are being manned and are in the social register. And this 15 million, like I said, is a household. And a household can have about 4 to 5 people. So 15 million times 5 is about what? 75 million. Times 4 is about what? 60 million. By today we are talking, under the leadership of our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria across the nation about 8,104,040 households in Nigeria so far as of today collected 25,000 naira each.
Sir, you talk of hardship.
Let me finish with this analysis so they will not confuse me.
Yes.
Because we are talking of Nigeria, we have spoken about Katsina. Now we are talking of Nigeria. Out of the population of Nigeria, about 235, 8 million households have so far collected what? 25,000 naira each. And out of this figure, I mentioned again, 3,489,815 out of the figure I mentioned. 3 million of that figure have collected second payment. So you can now, out of the 8.1 million that collected first tranche payment, 3.4 has so far collected second tranche payment. And out of this 3.4, 2 billion out of it, 427,928,000 has so far collected the third tranche payment of 25,000. So you can now see, if you are taking Nigeria as a whole, you find 8 million had collected first payment, 3.4 has collected second payment out of that, and 2.4 had already collected third payment out of that. So multiply that by 25, multiply this by 25, multiply this by 25, it will total to about 344 billion. Then would you ask me whether you have seen the impact on Nigeria or not? So we are free to say the president has done very well in the area of what? Direct benefit transfer. And this is whether you like it or not, whether you care to hear or not, whether you hear or whether you care to not or not. This has happened, and the data is in NSIPA. The data is in every state of Nigeria for those who want to verify. Numbers are there, BBN numbers are there, and about 80% of this payment are made directly from Central Bank of Nigeria into the accounts of these beneficiaries. Even today, you see, because these people, 26, have no what? Account. That is why they have been facilitated to get account. But over 80% of this payment is done directly from Central Bank of Nigeria into what?
Their account.
And that is why we are not hearing. Supposing all these people will gather here, we will know activity is ongoing.
Yeah.
But today, because the remitter is used, having passed quality test by NASCO, having passed other criteria, having gotten no objection from Central Bank, from World Bank, then the money is remitted directly into the beneficiary's account. How would we know? But for those of them in categorization who have no bank accounts, we have to get debit cards for them, which can facilitate them to go and get their money. That is why we began. So we can now see this activity. Within 2 years, about 344 billion has so far been what? Disbursed to this number of beneficiaries, some first, some second tranche, and some third tranche payment. So this is wonderful. This is incredible. This is even unparalleled because it has never happened. But people are not talking.
So finally, sir, talk to us about the challenges and the way forward.
Before then, I think the question you asked me earlier, I need to answer this question very well before I go to challenges. Many people in the part of Nigeria here, this northern part where I belong, they kept on saying they have not seen the, not the impact, the cash transfer going on in northern Nigeria. It's not true. Because if you look at the reflection, we say 8 million in Nigeria. So the question you asked me about, okay, what about the northern, let me even be specific, northwest I belong. We have about 7 states here. And in these 7 states, Kano, Jigawa, Kaduna, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara. I think these are the 7 states.
Yes.
In these 7 states, and out of that figure 8.1, about 2.9 million beneficiaries have so far collected 25,000 naira each. From that 8 million, only in Northwest, only 7 states have collected what? People out of that 2.977691 people have collected first tranche payment. So look at it. 2.9 from 8.1 is about 36.7%. So the Northwest alone has already benefited 36.7% of the total disbursement in Nigeria. No, I'm not true. This is only a first payment I'm saying. What about second payment? What about third payment? So still in the northern part of the Northwest I belong and the Northwest I come from, you can now hear 2.9 out of 8.1 had so far collected first tranche payment. The second tranche payment of these people out of this about 349 out of that figure collect a second payment, and the third payment is about 900 and what, and 55 as third tranche. The total amount being disbursed in Northwest alone, first, second, and third payment is about 131 billion. So you can now the 344 we are saying across the nation, the Northwest alone has taken about 26.7%. And yet people are saying the government of Baba Tinubu, president of the Peripheral of Nigeria, is not doing much on cash transfer. And from the same region people are talking. And they failed to come to us. And even when we mention the abuse here in a lie. So which is a lie here? You have not verified this. The data is available. The number of these beneficiaries are known. Their names are with the state government. In this one state I mentioned, we can go and verify. We can go and find out the details about this. If a government of this nature that we struggle to bring can disburse 344 billion, and out of it 131 billion is from one region of the country, totaling to about 26.7%. If you include North Central, Northeast, you may come to note about 71% of this disbursement is from the northern region. And that is rational, because poverty is one-dimensional. There are more poor people in northern part, in northern region of the country than in the southern part. Therefore, the beneficiaries will be more. Because when we are talking of vulnerability, education, we have more educational vulnerability, more economic vulnerability, more social vulnerability, no security vulnerability, child abuse, more and more are in northern part of the country. So the data mine is correct, because more people from the northern region, more people from the northern part of the country are likely to benefit from the renewed hope agenda, conditional cash transfer than the southern part of the country, because we have more poor and vulnerable population due to insecurity, due to flood, and other social and other calamities and natural disasters. So this is the information I want to say before we ask a question, that we can now see how this issue is being reviewed. The state government own it there. What had happened in Katsina, the northern region taking northwest as an example, and then looking at the nationwide, what obtains. So if you are to ask me a question now, or the question you have asked me now, I'm free to say the President administration under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Need Hope agenda, has done so well and very well in the area of conditional, or in the area of what? Cash transfer. Direct cash transfer. So this is very true, whether you like it or not. We are telling the truth. And if you want to verify, the records are with us. And in every state of the country, you can go and find out, rather than to castigate, nothing is being done in the area of direct cash transfer, which is being supervised by the Ministry of Humanitarian, and which is under NSIPA agency that Mr. President is working with to find social protection in relation to cash transfer. This question, you are talking of internally displaced persons.
Yeah.
I think maybe I have to rewind you to take you back a little. Are you with me? The data was mined 2023. The data was mined. This data in each state was done in 2023.
Yeah.
It was not done yesterday.
Yes.
It was not done the day before yesterday. So those people who were unlucky to be in IDPs could have been captured then. From 2023 to date, nobody has been included again into the National Social Register. So this is the work that has been done. So those who were able to be captured were captured. But I tell you, we want to expand this register. If we come to expand this National Social Register, it then will be able to capture more and more people. Like I told you earlier, the process was so long in determining who is to be in the National Social Register. That is a separate interview entirely. If you want to ask me, then I will stage a time for me to explain National Social Register exclusion or inclusion. So 2023, the data was mine. So today, here we are, and tomorrow we will expand this. And inshallah, by the time we expand it, more poor and vulnerable population will come into it. And again, it will provide relief. It will provide assistance. It will provide support to the, let's say, less privileged, because some people don't want to be called poor. Less privileged population in Nigeria. And on this note, I want to say our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is doing very, very well in the area of direct cash transfer to beneficiaries in Kaduna State, in other states of Nigeria, going by the number of people who had received fast tranche payment across the nation of 8.1 million, which out of it 3.4 collected second payment, and out of it all 2.4 had collected third payment, totaling to about 344 billion Naira. Thank you so much.
Aṣíwájú ìyẹ̀jú àwọn ọ̀nà tí dàmú. Aṣíwájú ìlúṣe olóòtú níṣẹ́jú yìí. Ìwé àwọn olóòtú, ìwé àwọn àṣebàjẹ́, ìwé àwọn ẹlẹ́jẹ̀, ìwé àwọn alábòsí. Olórí ìhìnrere, olórí tí ń ṣe rere, olórí tó fi wá péré. Aṣíwájú tó dé wá péré, Jagaba tó dé wá péré. Yarabawa Hausawa, na ce Aṣíwájú tó tayi.